All right, we live here at Rock City Hoops season finale in the house. I got my main man Keir in the building, man. Keir is one of the league's veterans. Keir, in a sense, is he represents the 90s basketball player. He's got a mid-range jumper, high IQ. He's played the game at a high level. Keir understands the game from an organized standpoint, and he's one of my favorite players to play with personally. Okay, that is when I'm not injured. Okay, so. But Keir, the first question of the night, man, is, who is your top 5 favorite basketball players of all time?
Favorite or best of all time?
Let's go personal favorite.
My number 1 would be Alonzo Mourning.
Okay.
Undersized center. He started the undersized centers. He was never a true center. 6'10". Love the way he played defense, all hard.
Okay.
Then I gotta go with little man Muggsy Bogues.
Okay.
5'5" dude. Played for Charlotte. Loved him too. That's nothing but heart, Then we think about the other 3. You gotta go with Jordan. He just changed the game altogether. You have to show him respect. Then we're down to 2 more. I gotta go my man Vashawn Leonard. A lot of people don't know about Vashawn Leonard, but he had a nice 3-point.
Okay.
He played a mid-roll, not a big name. And then I got to go with my man Del Curry.
Ooh.
So those are my favorite 5 players.
Okay.
That's the 5 that
we've not heard, but you know what? If you watch Keir's game, you can see the Del Curry. You can see, in fact, his stroke is a little bit like Del Curry's. Okay. Except Keir actually jumps, So, okay, now, what would you say the game of basketball means to you? There's a lot of guys out there who play ball. They don't love ball. But what does the game of basketball mean to you?
Basketball is life, in a sense. What I mean by that is it gets you away from distractions. At 35 years old, I was never good enough to make the NBA. But basketball always keeps things in perspective, You work hard, you do your best, and you enjoy the game for what it is. It's not about being the best out there all the time. It's not about being number 1 all the time. It's more like how LeBron James go through. He's the best, but it's been argued, he's not the best because he likes to share. He likes to incorporate everybody into the game. And when you incorporate yourself in the game of basketball, it's like a family. You make good friends, and even on the street, you've never met a guy. You play with anybody. There's no racial barriers. You could mess with a Chinese guy, a Latin guy, could be an Indian guy who's 5'4". You get on that court, all color lines are blurred. You just play ball, and that's what life should be. It should be everybody all together, playing as one. Unity.
And the one thing we were talking about this other day is that basketball is the one sport that really crosses all lines. Not to down the other sports, but the other sports don't incorporate everybody being needed at the same time. In basketball, whoever's the 5 on the court is needed for everything, So the next question is, Keir, who would you name one player that you modeled your game after?
Yikes. That's a tough question, actually, because I embrace the role player aspect of the game. I want to be that role player. I want to be the guy who, if you want to get down to how important I am, it's not about how many points I've scored. It's about the hustle, how that still happened because of what I popped out and did, how I flashed. It's not tangible for the basic sports analyst. Like your normal basketball player who doesn't understand the game, they don't think I'm not important.
Okay.
But if you know the game and you see what I do, it's the small things that don't show up on the paper. So I can't particularly say I model my game after anyone in particular, but I try to be the best role player on the court at all times.
And this is why I love playing with Keir. Okay? So now Kelly has some questions for you, man.
These are the hard ones.
Now, Mike mentioned that you're somewhat of a veteran in this league. So can you tell us a little bit about how your experience has been with Rock City Hoops thus far?
I'm very happy that I found Rock City Hoops, to be totally honest. I moved here from New York, and I used to drive about 15, 20 miles just to get a game of ball outside. I found this league through a mutual friend. He invited me the first season I meant to play. I broke my finger, so I couldn't play. So I skipped that, and then I came back and played, and it's hard to find good competitive ball with sensible people and enjoy yourself. It's not none of that street and one behind my back, bounce it off the back of your head. It's competition. There's a lot of high basketball IQs out here involved with a lot of young kids who's coming up who can improve their game.
But Rock City bloopers like that. Is it straight?
Yeah, we
All
straight.
right, go
I know
ahead.
it. But yeah, I mean, this is a league that I probably, as long as it's here, I'll be here, definitely. And if things work out, I even support the league. Think about it.
Okay. Now, how does Rock City compare to other leagues that you've played in New York, places you drove 15, 20 miles out the city to play in?
Well, since being in Florida, see, the difference between the other league I played in, it's the street aspect is ridiculous. How the things that happen out there, the fancy, the highlights, everyone plays for highlights. They don't play team ball. They don't understand, like, people who can drop 30 in other leagues cannot drop 30 here. And it's not because they're not good enough, it's the competition, it's the kind of ball you're playing.
We're not talking any names, though.
Nothing in particular, no. There's a couple other leagues out there, and guys play it's run and gun. One guy shooting 43s a night. He might hit half them because they don't play defense. It's the best team. There is no. It's really no competition. There is none, because out there it's just you get a guy off the street and he could be 6'9" and he can put up 40 here. You're not being 6'9" and putting up 40 here.
Not in
It's
Rock
just
City.
the competition here is a lot better. The IQs are a lot better. The game of basketball here is a lot better.
All right, now it's playoff time.
Uh-oh.
It's playoff time. We got the East, we got the West. Who you got coming out the West? Who do you have coming out the East?
And who I have taken it all.
Yep.
I'm going to start with the West. West is where most of the competition is. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to pick the Spurs. Not because I don't want the Spurs to be there, because I really don't. But they are the best complete team, I think, playing basketball right now. I mean, Oklahoma, I would like to see them go there, but their team aspect, the way San Antonio is one unified cohesion unit, it's hard to beat that. So I have the Spurs coming out. East, it's a no-brainer, to be honest. I don't see anyone beating the Heat right now. That's unfortunate, because I'd like to see them get challenged a little bit. I would think Chicago might be able to do it, but they just don't have the offensive caliber right now to do anything. And we have the Spurs and the Heat in the finals again. And I want Miami to win, but I think the Spurs might just pull it off this year. You know, old legs, young legs, nobody in the Spurs plays over 30 minutes. I think by the time they get there, even with the battle in the West, they'll be able to win it in 7.
All right.
What about our championship here?
Well, who you got coming out the championship here tonight?
Well, tonight's going to be a good game.
There's already been a couple of upsets.
Oh, well, yeah,
Coming
we didn't
through
make
the
it. That was
playoffs.
definitely
It's been a
upset that
lot
my
of
team didn't make it in. But no, I don't think there's actually been any upsets, to be honest. The two teams that are here, one of them I didn't think would make it. That's Team 8. It's Twin Towers. I thought Team 4 was definitely going to be here with Team 7, to be honest. That's a surprise to me, but I think Team 7 is going to have it all the way. Team 7 has an all-around game. They have the best IQ as a team in the game. And I think they're going to be able to take it over Team 8, who has the talent, but a lot of guys play out of position at a lot of times, and they get lost in the game. And you can't do that against Team 7, because as soon as you get lost in the game, they'll take advantage, and that's a 10, 15-point win. I've experienced it.
Speaking from experience. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Keir. I'm Kelly, and we're signing out for Rock City.
Deuces.